the Ring, Damage 365 Radio will be doing the ECW Originals Tour. That starts September 20th in Monroe, New Jersey at Legends of the Ring. You need to come down, folks. You need to come visit one of the original former ECW Tag Team Champions, Pitbull #1, Gary Wolf, along with Pit Girl Christy Kiss, will be with Damage 365, as will one of the original ECW badasses, the chair-swinging Axel Rotten, will be with Damage 365 Radio at Legends of the Ring. But it doesn't stop there, folks. The next day, in Middletown, New York, at Wrestling Spectacular 3D, which it's called that because it will feature the Dudley Boys, but it also features Damage 365 Radio and Gary Wolf and Axel Rotten and Christy Kiss as the ECW Originals Tour continues. It don't stop there. We take a little hiatus because all this excitement, you know, I got to keep the older guys, you know, I got to keep the hearts, you know, and the blood pressure down, give them a little breather, because November 8th we'll be in Queens at the big event number 7 featuring Sting. That's right, Sting. We will be back. Damage 365 Radio will be there again with Gary Wolf, Christy Kiss, and Axel Rotten as we close out the ECW Originals Tour in style in Queens. And what a great beginning of the winter we're going to have. I am psyched. I cannot wait. This is like, I'm counting. I'm chomping at the bit. Chomping. Nick is chomping at the bit because when we're in Middletown, we're literally 5 minutes from his house. The guy's never been able to roll out of bed and come to his show. He's usually had to drive 2 hours. Now it's me that has to drive the 2 hours. But it's okay because I'm looking forward to seeing the fans, and I'm looking forward to the fans interacting with Gary Wolf and Christy Kiss and Axel Rotten. We're going to have an ass-kicking time. It's going to be... I'm psyched. I mean, if you haven't been able to tell by the tone of my voice how psyched I am, I'm stoked, folks. I just cannot wait. So do not forget these dates, okay? September 20th, Monroe, New Jersey. Legends of the Ring. September 21st, Middletown, New York. Wrestling Spectacular. And November 8th, by the way, that's my birthday, just in case none of you knew that. If you're not friends with me on Facebook, November 8th is the birthday of Coach Kev. That's me. I'm pointing at myself. Okay? But it's also the big event number 7 in Queens. In East Elmhurst, New York, also known as Queens. We will be there. Pitbull, #1, Gary Wolf, former ECW Tag Team Champion, in tow with Pit Girl, Christy Kiss, and the chair-swinging wacko, ECW legend Axel Rotten. We will all be there. We will all be... Well, I'll have a smile on my face. I can't tell you what they do. I mean, they're wrestlers, so they got to look, they got to look mean. But don't tell anybody. Gary Wolf's really a nice guy. Don't tell anybody. But we're expecting in a couple of minutes the champ, Aja Perera, will be giving us a call in a little while. But we're going to go to a commercial break. So crack open another cool one, because we're going to be back in a couple of minutes.
Esposito's Pizza and Pasta. Over a decade of excellent dining experience. Dine in, take out, or free delivery. We feature over 25 different types of pizza pies, and also will create anything you want. Our sauces are made fresh daily and use only the freshest ingredients. We also have good old-fashioned style entrees, cooked like your mom used to make. From wraps, calzones, rolls, and pasta specials galore to calamari and soups. All in a cozy atmosphere. Call today or stop on in.
Hello, ladies. The Big Valboski here, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio.
is broken out in love like a cat without a care, roaming freely through the street. You could find him amongst the pitches of the square, He won't see the sun again for years to come. He's broken out in love.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and again, a great rendition of Breaking Out of Love Part 2, the theme music for Bray Wyatt of the Wyatt family, performed by Layla Bayer, very, very young, talented young woman from the UK, and we always love to play the song for her and, you know, give her as much exposure as she can. She's awesome. And not to leave out my buddies of mine over there at Superstars of Wrestling. So a couple of shows coming up for them. October 11th, Superstars of Wrestling presents No Trickery. And this show will take place in Spotswood, New Jersey. The likes of former WWE stars Nunzio, one of the ECW originals, and former WWE's Big Vito, former NWO X-Pac, and aforementioned Gary Wolf. So don't miss out on that show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, everybody, to the show, and at this time we'd like to welcome our guest of the day, the women's champion, Aja Perera. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, I see that you're once again the champion. Tell the fans out there and the ones that don't know what league you're representing as women's champion.
I just won for the second time for about a year or so at HW State World. I went against Steve New, Tragedy, if you've all heard of her.
Yes.
And I had my very first hardcore match, and that's how I won the belt, actually.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. And this took place this past weekend?
Yep, this weekend at the State World.
Very nice. See, I love when people win titles right before they come on the show, because it just who doesn't want to interview the champ? it's just so much nice. Like, I can say, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have Aja Perera on the show. Tune in and listen. That sounds cool, but doesn't it sound better when we say, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have the women's champion Aja Perera on the show. Tune in to listen to the champ.
Exactly. They make it spicier. Like second time.
I know. The two-time women's champion. Now you got to do like a spinneroonie after you say that.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about you and how did you wake up one day and decide I want to be a wrestler instead of like something else?
My story is kind of different. It's not like how most people are like, oh, I've been wanting to do this for my whole life. And that really wasn't me. I've always been a fan of wrestling, but I never really thought it was my thing to like get in the ring. So one day, I was actually going to Platinum Championship Wrestling in Porterville, Georgia, and we met one of the trainers there, and they were like, you guys should try it out, you should do it. And so my sister's like, yeah, Aja, let's just try it. So I'm like, all right, yeah, like, whatever. It is what it is. So I went in there, and I think that first, like, the whole training session, I fell in love with it. Like, that day, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. Because, you don't really see the behind the scenes of it. So when you actually get a taste of it, and like, oh, it's more to it than just running out there and fighting. Like, it's just everything. I like literally in like an hour and a half, I just fell deeply in love with the craft of it and everything.
Nice. So who is? Well, let's see. I mean, because during training and things like that, you have matches. But who is your first match? That significant match on a card that you were official. Like you were. This is it. You're officially on a card tonight, and this is who you're fighting.
My very first match was actually my coach had put it together. It was Open Door Championship Wrestling in Atlanta, and he actually set it up where it was a tag match, and it was my coach versus another female wrestler named Grundy.
Okay.
And then it was me and another man. I was tagged with another male named Jonathan Brown. That match. It was different. It was different, but it was a lot of fun.
Okay. So, who right now do you say might have been one of your bigger inspirations in the business? What, like, once you got in, that maybe you molded yourself after a little?
With me, I never really like on the roster wrestler. Like I don't know. I don't really look up to them in that aspect. But who I really began molding myself after is like my trainer, Fred Avery. Like I picked up on his little quirks and stuff through training and whatnot. So like I really, if anybody else, he's like my go-to person that I look at and like model myself after.
Okay, well that's fair. So what do you have coming up for 2014? Now that you got to defend that title.
I have, I don't have a rematch set up yet for the belt, but I do have a match coming up September 20th to actually have a number one contenders match against Dimension of Rose for the AIWF Women's World Championship. So that would be pretty awesome if I have two belts. That would be pretty cool. And also, in October 25th, I make my debut in New York at House for Women's Professional Wrestling. So that's going to be different, especially like the northern crowd and whatnot.
So you're going to be kind of like in my backyard.
Yeah. Little Southern Belle, like, oh man, it's going to be. I really can't wait though, because it's so out of my element.
I don't know. We'll have to come down and make some signs and razz you up a little bit, and because that's what we do up here in New York. That's our reputation. That we just give everybody a hard time.